welcome you to Horizons Health and Fitness Club BodyPump Technique class. This class or video is for you to be able to practice in your own home so that you can participate safely and effectively in the classes at the club. Now, BodyPump is a group barbell class. As you can see, we have a barbell weights, and it will challenge every single muscle in your body, your major muscles. So whether you're new to BodyPump or experienced, this technique class will give you the tools that you need to be able to participate safely and improve your performance. Our BodyPump instructors will always guide you through the appropriate weight selection, but if you're new, learn the technique before worrying about adding heavier weights. Technique is really important. Now, the principles behind BodyPump are simple, easy to do movements, but at an intensity that brings you to the point of fatigue. So each track lasts between 3.5 to 5 minutes, bringing you to that point of overload. So that's one of the reasons technique is crucial, especially in those last few repetitions. So warm-up. We're going to think about the warm-up. Now, the warm-up is the preparation for the exercise. So the weight selection should be nice and light, probably the lightest weight that you would be using for the class. So what we're also going to do is to think about how we're going to hold the bar. So this is what we call set position. Now, set position is probably the most important movement to learn, and it sets you up for great alignment, great posture, so you're not going to hurt yourself, especially your back. So things to think about: hands just slightly wider than your thighs. You want your feet underneath your hips, and unless you're told otherwise, that's where they stay. The knees are soft, supporting the weight of your body. You draw your belly in and you lift your shoulders up. You then slide your shoulder blades down your back. Now, from this position, we move from and return to. So that is set position. You'll hear us talk a lot about set position. So one of the first moves one does in the warm-up is what we call a dead lift. So again, we start in that nice relaxed set position, shoulders pulled back. We keep the bar close to the thighs, we bend the legs a little more, transferring the weight into the heels and slowly rising. Now, common mistakes is to round the shoulders, so the bar comes below the knee. So if your bar is coming below the knee, you need to pull the shoulders back in, and that's as far as you go. So we want to ski slope back, weight into the heels so we can activate the muscles in the back of the leg. Check that you're tucking your chin in. So imagine you have an orange under your chin and you're not sticking your chin out. Again, keeping those shoulders back and relaxed. So that's called a dead lift. From here, we move to a dead row. So we come into this position, you lock through the middle of your body, pull the bar to your belly button, keeping the elbows tucked in close, back to the knees, and then we slowly rise. So you often hear us call it knees and squeeze. Now, the squeeze is through the shoulder blades, not the bar to your belly button. So squeezing through those shoulder blades, nice and relaxed. And we have different positions, but the instructor will help you on that. So that was our deadlift and dead row. We then often move to an upright row. Now, we often change position for this so that we can support our back. So we're in a split position, wanting to make sure that your feet are not on train tracks, or rather on tightrope, but on train tracks. Weight forward, pulling the elbows high, so the bar doesn't come all the way up, middle of the chest, and that your wrists stay underneath your elbows. You're pulling through your back muscles, nice and relaxed. Now we transition to shoulder press from here. So you often pull up, you flip the bar under, it comes into your chin, and then we go straight up to our shoulder press. Now notice that my legs are soft, I haven't locked my legs, back heel is off the floor, bar is moving nice and smoothly, coming back to the chin. Now, I haven't said it yet, but I'm going to say it now. It's really important to breathe. So always think about breathing out on effort. So that's the push or the pull. Now, from the shoulder press, we move into squats. So let me talk about the squat track, which will actually be the second track. Now, bearing in mind we chose a nice lightweight for the warm-up, the squat track, we need to double or treble. So I'm going to double or treble. So the green weights are 2.5 kilograms. We have the orange weights, which are the 5 kilograms. And then we have the yellow weights, which are 1.25. Now obviously if you're new, I've talked about sticking with light weights, learning the technique. So we wouldn't expect you to double or treble. You really want to concentrate on getting that technique. Now, set position. The difficulty is getting the bar up. So you pull it up. Now we're placing the bar on the fleshy part of our back. So it's off the neck. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. You've got a nice little shelf on which to rest it. So you start with set position and then you take your feet slightly wider. And that's really important that the elbows stay underneath the bar. If you take your elbows back, that bar comes up onto your neck. So elbows underneath the bar, you tighten through the midsection, and then you want just to sit back, imagining there's a chair behind you, taking the weight back into your feet, driving through. So nice and slow. You'll also hear us telling you to track your knees over your toes, so you can look down, and the knees should be tracking over your second and third toe. Now for those of you who are a little bit more experienced, you want to get your butt to a 90-degree angle to the floor. As I say, this will bring you to overload quite quickly. So by the time you get to the end of the track, you want to feel you don't want to do another repetition. You've done enough. And then carefully you step in, take the weight off, and carefully take that down. So, squats, done and dusted. Third track will be the chest track. And for this, we need the use of a step. Now, weight selection, more than you warmed up to, about a third less than you've just used for the squats. Now, we'll be lying on the steps and bench pressing. Now, a couple of things to think about. Target zone where the bar is aiming into and also hand position. So the hands are going to go as wide as you can physically get them. Lie yourself down, take the bar up into the air. Now check that the rings are to the ceiling, so you have a strong wrist, you haven't rolled your wrist. That the elbows stay underneath the bar. You place your shoulder blades back into the step and you pull your tummy in. Now the bar target is the chest, your heart, but fist height off. So you draw the bar down and you slowly squeeze through. Now breathing is important, so you breathe out on effort. Now as you tire, you tend to lift the shoulders, so try and bring in other muscles. So keep your shoulders down and relaxed, keep the tummy pulled in, breathing out on effort. And notice the elbows stay underneath the bar. Now there will be different timings. You'll find that we come down really slow, we push up. Sometimes we stagger the bar, so you need to listen out for all the different instructions. So that lasts normally 5 minutes. Sometimes with a break, and sometimes not.